Okay, good morning, everyone. Before we go to the next part, just one important thing that I want to discuss with you. So, everyone, please pay your attention on what I'm saying and please understand the concept. You remember we did this part yesterday. I think it was, if I'm not wrong, it was Raj and Akshay who had this doubt, where I explained to you that you will always use the rule of proportion. Now, practically, if you understand, this is the way it is done. सो दैट यू कैन रिलेट कि जब 6 लाख बैलेंस बचा है, जब 6 लाख बैलेंस है तो सामने 8 लाख रुपीस की ग्रांट है. So if you have the grant of 8 lakhs, of that 5 lakhs is refunded, then what should be the balance that should be apportioned? So this is the balance that we use, and this is how we used to calculate, with which we got 3,75,000 yesterday and 2,25,000. However, having said this, this is the correct method. This is how practically it is done. But if after the second year, if you try and compare the unearned government grant and the profit and loss account, you compare this with the capital approach, your amount does not match, right? So in order to maintain that harmony, see how do I do it. What you do in this case is you have 6 lakh rupees, which is your balance. See this, to balance. And I think Simran, it was your doubt, so please understand what I'm doing. Balance comes to how much? 6 lakhs. Now what you do is, technically you should take 3,75,000 and 2,25,000, right? But because the value is changing and you're adding to the cost, this rule of proportion is correct but will not match the two methods that we always match, right? Which two do we always match? We match the depreciation as per the capital approach and the depreciation as per the income approach. और हम ये देखते हैं कि दोनों सेम आता है. क्योंकि दोनों सेम आता है, we say there is harmony, there is no problem or there is no imbalance between the two. But over here, if you take 3,75,000, then there is a minor difference of around 45,000 that comes between the two. Now, in order to clear that, what you can do is, see, this is how you can solve it. Let me prepare for you the profit and loss account as well. Profit and loss account. Now, in the profit and loss account, by unearned government grant account, your total is 4 lakhs. So here it will come 2 lakhs. Okay. What will be your depreciation for the first year? Your depreciation for the first year will be 4 lakhs, right? This is how we solved it for the first year. Now, what happened was, in the second year, there was a refund in government grant, and that is where the problem began. Now, in the second year, since there is a refund in the government grant, what we will do is we will debit the unearned government grant account completely to the extent of the refund that we have done. So let me calculate this. To profit and loss account will be, sorry, to bank account. Let's take over here the entire value of 5 lakhs. Right? Now, what is your balance left in the profit and loss account? On your chat box, what's your balance left in the unearned government grant account? Not your profit and loss. What's the balance left in the unearned government grant account? 1 lakh. Put over here 1 lakh. Okay, now please pay attention. Unearned government grant account 1 lakh. Let's go to second year. Second year. In the second year, you will again charge 4 lakh as your depreciation, as you did in the previous method. Now you will take transfers from unearned government grant account to the profit and loss account. But this time, see how the transfer will take place. Your balance left is 1 lakh. So you will do 1 lakh divided by 3. How much do you get? 1 lakh divided by 3 on your chat box. How much do you get? 1 lakh divided by 3. How much do you get on your chat box? You get 33,333. So I'm taking over here 33,333. Now check. What's your balance left? 33,333 is what you will deduct. You get 3,66,000. See, this amount and this amount is matching. I'm putting a yellow mark over here. This amount and the amount that you just found, 3,66,000, is now matching. Now, if you understand this concept clearly and if you understand it logically, if you follow the method I taught you yesterday, still your answer will match. Right? प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, ये तो हमने एक मेथड किया जहां पूरा वैल्यू ले लिया तो हमारा आंसर मैच हो गया. अदरवाइज ऑल्सो योर आंसर विल मैच. सी आई विल शो यू हाउ डज दैट मैच. In both ways your answer is going to match. This will remain the same. This will be 2 lakhs and this will be 8 lakhs. To bank account over here, take 3,75,000. Since 3,75,000 is there, but you have to refund how much? 1,25,000. So you have 1,25,000. Has someone solved this question by this method? Has someone solved this question by this method? Can someone tell me how can you match it? Let's see if you can try and get the answer. On your chat box, can someone try and tell me how do you solve this, or can someone try and solve it for me? Let me see how do you solve it. Anyone else who can try? Okay, Raj, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So, wait a minute. Which sum it was? This was.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yes. So in this sum, basically, first of all, we will refund 3,75,000.
No, I would request you to start from the beginning.
Okay. So first of all, in unknown government grant account, we will have rupees 8 lakh as our grant. Then after, in first year, we will take 2 years to profit and loss account. 2 lakhs to profit and loss account.
2 lakh. Then?
Now that 2 lakh will be credited to P&L account.
Then?
And we have a depreciation of rupees 4 lakhs to P&L account.
Okay.
Now in the second year, we have to refund 5 lakhs. So proportionately, we have to debit 3,75,000 to unearned government grant account. And 1,25,000 will be debited to P&L account.
Okay.
Now for the second year, now balance we have 6 lakh minus 3,75,000. So 2,25,000 is our balance in unearned government grant account, which we will divide it by 3 because our remaining life is 3 years.
Okay.
So for the second year, we will take a transfer of 75,000 to P&L account credit.
Okay, so here it will be 75,000 and over here. But I would recommend that before you do this, the correct method is that first you have to provide depreciation, then you will take transfers.
Okay,
right?
so depreciation
Right.
4 lakh.
first understand the reason why I'm telling you to do that. The provision tells you always take transfer in the ratio of depreciation or in the ratio of useful life. Now, how will you get the ratio of depreciation without calculating the depreciation? So it is always suggested in the exam, first calculate your depreciation and take it over there. After that, it is suggested that you take transfers from unearned government grant account to the profit and loss account.
Okay, sir.
Right? I hope you agree with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So depreciation 4 lakh and transfer 75,000.
So unearned government grant account 75,000. Similarly, over here you will have 75,000. Then
Okay. Wait a minute, sir. 25, 75,000 each year. Okay. Now, in our means capital approach also, we had a depreciation of 3,66,667.
okay.
Wait a minute, sir. I'm missing out something. Net cost 12 lakhs minus 2 lakhs depreciation. Government grant refunded 15 lakhs. Amount
15, 5 lakhs.
Actually, yesterday I did this sum with question number 3, and in that case it was matching absolutely.
But if you understand question number 3, let's see question number 3. In question number, you have full refund, right?
In that, wait a minute, sir. I have solved this thing.
See, in question number 3, you have full refund. So you cannot compare question number 3 and this question, because this is a question of partial refund.
One minute, sir. 1 minute. Oh, 1 minute, just. Yes, sir. Actually, if we do a partial refund, in that case, at the end of 4 years, the net effect will be same in the profit and loss account.
Yes,
because
so you have to solve the entire question.
Yes,
you
sir.
cannot have in the middle, you cannot have this, because if you okay, so since you all have not studied AS22, I won't be able to explain to you the reversal effect. But however, let's solve it for the third year as well. So when you solve for the third year, that is the time you will understand that there are common, that the total amount of depreciation will remain common between the two. So I recommend that you solve the third year first, then you will get your answer.
So
What will
third
happen
year
in the third year?
we will also transfer 75,000. Means
Again,
first we will provide
you
depreciation
yes.
4 lakhs, then transfer 75,000 to PNL account.
Okay,
And
over
the
here
same
you will have
75,000
okay.
to PNL account.
Now, how did
And
you get, or how did you tally?
now at the end of means okay, so 2 years, fourth year also we have to provide, no sir?
Fourth year also you will provide. So take for the fourth year, depreciation for the fourth year first, and then transfer for the fourth year. Now,
so now if we see the effect in the PNL account by income approach, we have depreciation, we have charged 4 lakh plus 1,25,000 plus 12 lakhs.
Wait, 1,25,000 is not your depreciation.
No, not that depreciation, but the net effect that goes to PNL account, that's 12 lakh plus 4 lakh plus 1,25,000. So it's 17 lakh 25,000 minus 2 lakh minus 75 minus 75 minus 75. So 13 lakh goes to net to PNL account in our 4 years. And the same if we see by the capital approach also, then in that case, in capital approach, for the first year we debited 2 lakh rupees
Let
in
me
our PNL.
prepare the capital approach PNL. What will happen in the capital approach P&L?
First year we debited 2 lakhs rupees as our depreciation.
Okay. Second year 3,67,000.
Yes, second, third, and fourth year we debited 3,66,667.
Okay. So you will have this for the next 2 years also.
Yes. Now the amount tallies 13 lakh, 13 lakh.
Which means that when you follow the income approach, please understand, there is something known as, I'll explain to you, and that is why I did not solve this question for a lot of you. Okay, Raj, thank you so much. I will just mute you. Thank you. Okay, so that is why we did not solve this question. Now, please understand, there is something known as timing difference and something known as permanent difference. We will study this entirely when we do AS22, but right now, if you want to understand this concept, please understand. Please understand this concept first. What is the meaning of timing difference? Timing difference, as the name says, सिर्फ time का फर्क है. इवेंचुअली जब दोनों यूजफुल लाइफ खत्म होगी तो दोनों अमाउंट सेम आ जाएगी. आपको टेम्पररी सेकेंड ईयर में ऐसा लगेगा कि नहीं नहीं हम ज्यादा डेप्रिसिएशन प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं और सामने वाला कम डेप्रिसिएशन प्रोवाइड कर रहा है. लेकिन when you go to the end, when you go at the end, your total amount for both of them will remain the same. That is known as your timing difference. परमानेंट डिफरेंस मींस सेकेंड ईयर में डिफरेंस है वो थर्ड ईयर में भी रहता है, फोर्थ ईयर में भी रहता है, फिफ्थ में भी रहता है. वो कभी रिवर्स होके सेम नहीं होता. अगर वो कभी भी रिवर्स होके सेम नहीं होगा, दैट मींस इट इज नोन एज परमानेंट डिफरेंस. Now the question that we did is typically an example of timing difference, where both the amounts will not match in the second year, not in the third year, but they will match eventually in the fourth year. Are you getting it? However, if you want to match, see, we have done it with both the methods. I did the first method over here, where we found out that if we take the entire amount, still our 3,67,000 will match over here. That is what we did as per the first method. If you look at the second method that we did, in the second method, again, your total amount will tally 13 lakhs and 13 lakhs. Are you getting it? So if they ask you the entire question from year 1 to year 4, then at the end of the fourth year, you will get this answer to be matching with the rule of proportion. Please understand, अगर आप rule of proportion करते हो, मतलब now you should also have a question that why is it so that it is matching if we do not use the rule of proportion and it is matching if we use the rule of proportion. Please understand, if you use the rule of proportion, आप पूरा का पूरा अनअर्न गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट लास्ट तक बांट देते हो. क्योंकि आप पूरा अनअर्न गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट लास्ट ईयर तक, फोर्थ ईयर तक बांट देते हो, you have to wait and calculate till the end of the fourth year. Only then you will come to know that both the amounts are matching or not. However, in the second year, if you write off the entire thing, if you close the entire thing and use the entire unearned government grant account, then of course it is going to tally in the second year itself. Right? So please understand this. Your answer will tally in both the methods. Still, I will tell you the correct method is the rule of proportion because that is how practically it is used. So please understand and remember that rule of proportion is an even method to use. Why? Because it evenly distributes the government grant. क्योंकि जितना गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट है उतना ही अनअर्न्ड गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट अकाउंट में जा रहा है और वो पूरा अनअर्न्ड गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट अकाउंट इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड टुवर्ड्स द एंटायर ग्रांट. So I cannot write off the entire thing at one go. I must use the rule of proportion, जिसमें हमारा टोटल अमाउंट कब टैली होगा? It will tally at the end. And at the end, you will find that depreciation as per the capital approach and depreciation as per this approach will always be the same. There will be no difference in it. Are you understanding? Okay. Everyone on your chat box, especially Simran who asked me this doubt. Now, are you clear with this? In fact, a lot of students had asked me this doubt yesterday. So that is why I requested you that we will take this tomorrow in the lecture itself. Right? So everyone quickly on your chat box, are you clear with this? Are you all clear with this? Not only how did we get the method, get the answer, but why did we get that answer? What is the logic, the concept of timing and permanent difference? Everything. Are you conceptually clear? Everyone quickly on your chat box. We have Akshay, Aman, अंजलि, अक्षा, भाविन, दीपक, दीपेश, धारा, दिगेश, तुलसी, हर्षित, हर्षिता, हेत, इशिका, जलपन, जयशिव, काजल, खुशी, मानव, मयूर, मुकद्दिशा, निधि, निकिता, निर्मा, ओम, पवन, पुष्टि, राघव, राज, रिजवान, रोहन, समी, समीरा, शिफा, श्रेयस, सिमरन, स्पृहा, सृष्टि, Ved, and Yash. Are you all absolutely clear with this? Even if you have any doubt, please ask me. I'll explain the concept again to you. It's an absolutely simple concept. Only thing is you have to think logically कि सारा हमने आज write off कर दिया तो इसलिए आज मैच हो रहा है, लेकिन अगर हमने डिवाइड किया है तो इवेंचुअली वो एंड में मैच हो ही जाएगा and you will get 13 lakhs. That is why I first began with telling you that use that method, but of course your answer will match with this method. And I'm telling you since yesterday that this is the method that is used practically. The one where you do the rule of proportion, that is the method that is used practically. So remember that is something that you will use in your professional career ahead. Right, so I hope this is clear. Let's go to the last two questions that are left, and then we go to a new standard today. Right, so come to question number 15. Let's begin with question number 15. Let's begin with question number 15. Come to question 15. Question number 15. Okay, I'm reading the question for you. Kunal Limited received a specific grant of rupees 60 lakhs for acquiring plant of rupees 300 lakhs during 12-13, having a useful life of 10 years. The grant was credited to deferred income in the balance sheet. कौन सा approach use किया है? On your chat box, कौन सा approach use किया है? Which is the approach that they're talking about? Income approach. Okay, excellent. During the year 15-16, due to non-compliance of conditions laid down for the grant, the company had to refund the whole grant. Balance in the deferred income on that date was 42 lakhs. However, the written down value of the plant was 210 lakhs. What should be the treatment of refund of grant and the effect on the cost of the asset and the amount of depreciation to be charged during the year 15-16 in the profit and loss account? What should be the treatment of refund if the grant was deducted from the cost of the plant, assuming that the plant account showed a balance of 168 lakhs? Okay. Now this question we have already solved. So I would like you to solve this question. So to me, so let's see who can solve this question. I think, let me see who can solve it. Okay, Ved, can you try this question? Ved, can you try the first part of the question? Yes or no on the chat box. Quickly on your chat box, can you try solving this question? Okay, if not Ved, then Jalpan, can you try solving this question? Quickly on your chat box. Jalpan, can you try solving this question? Okay, great. Then I need one more. So Mukaddisha, can you solve this question? The second part of the question. Mukaddisha, can you try solving this question quickly on the chat box? Okay, great. Fine. Let's begin with Jalpan. Okay, Jalpan, here you go. Question number 15, the first part.
यस सर। सर फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो हमारे पास बैलेंस है, डिफर्ड इनकम है 42 lakhs।
Okay, first, if you could explain the question to me.
गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट मिली है 60 lakhs और 3 lakhs का कॉस्ट है मशीनरी का।
Okay,
सो 3 years
yes, go ahead.
एंड 60 lakhs है, तो फिर हमने 60 lakhs डिवाइडेड बाय यूजफुल लाइफ ऑफ द एसेट 10 years, सो 6 lakhs हमने 3 years मतलब वो पीएनएल अकाउंट में डेबिट के हो गए।
Okay, just hold on. Let me make things easier for you. Look at the question and tell me what is the amount of plant that you purchased?
300 lakhs।
What is the amount of plant that you purchased? 300
300
lakhs.
lakhs।
Okay. Next point. आपको ग्रांट कितना मिला?
60 lakhs।
60 lakhs. ठीक है जलपन, जैसे मैं आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ वही सीक्वेंस आप एग्जाम में फॉलो करेंगे अगर ये क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं तो।
Okay.
यू विल आस्क योरसेल्फ द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, ग्रांट इज ऑफ 300 lakhs, my sorry, the plant is of 300 lakhs, my government grant is of 60 lakhs. What's
Okay.
the useful life of the asset?
10 years।
Okay, what did you do with the grant that you received?
ट्रांसफर टू अनअर्न गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट अकाउंट।
Okay, which means which method are you talking about?
इनकम इनकम
Income approach. Okay, उसके बाद क्या हुआ 15-16 में?
गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट रिफंड की हमने।
ओके, अब आप मुझे बताइए अगर गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट रिफंड करना हो इन और हमने पहले इनकम अप्रोच फॉलो किया है तो क्या, व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला, व्हाट इज द मेथड टू रिफंड द गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट फॉर इनकम अप्रोच?
पहले तो अनअर्न गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट अकाउंट में जो बैलेंस होगा वो रिफंड करेंगे, और उसमें जो 60 lakhs माइनस 42 lakhs, तो फिर 18 lakhs बचा तो उस पीएनएल में से हम निकालेंगे फिर।
ओके, 18 lakhs बचा है, 18 lakhs कम पड़ा? You wanted how much?
60 lakhs।
How much did you get?
42 lakhs।
कम पड़ा या ज्यादा मिला?
हाँ बराबर, कम पड़ा।
कम पड़ा, तो जो भी whatever falls short, that is what you call in the language of AS12, whatever
Yeah.
falls short will be debited to the profit and loss account. So you will debit how much? 18 lakhs to the profit and loss account. Okay, one more question I have to you. ये जो 2015-16 है, कितने साल बाद ग्रांट रिफंड किया हमने, कितने साल के बाद हमने नॉन कंप्लायंस किया?
3 years।
ओके, क्या वो इनकम अप्रोच में 3 years हमारे कोई भी काम का है? ये इन्फॉर्मेशन के 3 साल बाद रिफंड हुआ वो कोई भी काम का है हमारे अकॉर्डिंग टू यू?
नहीं, प्लान की कॉस्ट में कोई भी वो चेंज नहीं आएगा।
Exactly, there is no change in the cost of the plant, no change in the amount of depreciation, and because of that this 2015-16 is useful information but not useful in case number 1.
Yes sir।
Are you getting it? Okay, so quickly help me solve this. Your first statement will be
As per accounting standard 12
as
government
per accounting standard 12 government grants. Which approach are you solving with the question?
income approach।
Income approach. Okay, let's put that in the case of, correct me if I'm wrong anywhere, in the case of income approach, the refund of government grant will first be adjusted against the balance in the unearned government grant account. If the balance falls short, what will you do, Jalpan? If the balance falls short,
P&L account debited।
debit the profit and loss account. Okay, perfect. Let's go to the next one. Okay, then therefore how much will you take from the unearned government grant account in this case?
60 minus 42, 18 lakhs।
unearned government grant account से कितना लोगे वो पूछ रहा हूँ?
42 lakhs।
42 lakhs. And how much from the profit and loss account?
18 lakhs।
18 lakhs. Okay. What will be the impact on the value of the asset?
नो चेंज, मतलब जो 3 इयर्स तक हम वो चलाते आ रहे हैं वही होगा।
Okay, now if you realize this question that we are doing is a past exam question, right? Everyone please pay attention, including you, Jalpan. This question that we are doing is a past exam question, and the question that I am editing over, question number 5, is your study material question. देखो उन्होंने क्या किया है, आपको याद है ये 42 की जगह पहले 21 लिखा हुआ था. Do you remember, Jalpan?
यस सर।
And over here it was 9. In this question they asked the exactly same question, only thing is figures उन लोगों ने double कर दिए.
यस सर।
इसीलिए देखो, the value of the asset over here will be how much? Not 105 multiplied by 2, 210 है ना,
Yes,
ये
sir.
रहा आपका 210. So it was the exactly same question that was asked in the exam, and they only doubled the figures, right? So will there be any change in the value of the asset or the amount of depreciation?
No, sir.
No change in the value of depreciation. Okay, great. Thank you, Jalpan.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, here you go, Mukaddisha. Go ahead.
हेलो।
Yes, go ahead.
यस सर। सर हमको यहाँ पे सेकंड क्वेश्चन में कॉस्ट बढ़ाना पड़ेगा क्योंकि हम लोगों ने पहले कॉस्ट कम किया होगा हमको
Which
जब
is the
ग्रांट
method you're talking about?
सेकंड क्वेश्चन व्हाट शुड बी द ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ द रिफंड।
I agree. But what is the method? Capital approach, income approach?
कैपिटल अप्रोच सॉरी।
Perfect. Go ahead.
ओके, तो वो मुझे रिफंड करना पड़ेगा तो हमें कैलकुलेशन करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि पहले हम लोग ने ग्रांट जब हमको मिला होगा तब हमने माइनस किया होगा, तो अब मुझे एड बैक करना पड़ेगा।
Okay, this format is ready for you. Go ahead.
कैरिंग अमाउंट पहले आएगी 300 lakhs first.
On which date?
Carrying on cost of the asset आएगी।
So 1/4/2012, you get 300 lakhs.
Yes.
Let me put over here rupees in lakhs. Okay, then
हम लोग ने रिफंड किया है तो हम
are you
एड
sure
बैक कर
300 आएगा?
नो सर, सॉरी 210 आएगा, सॉरी।
Yes, you've already been given. Should I do this 300? मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, मुझे ऐसा करना चाहिए 300 minus 60 कितना बचा? 240. 240 में फर्स्ट ईयर का डेप्रिसिएशन, सेकेंड ईयर का डेप्रिसिएशन, थर्ड ईयर का डेप्रिसिएशन, ये सब मुझे करना चाहिए?
नहीं,
क्यों नहीं करना चाहिए?
बिकॉज़ सर यहाँ पे दे दिए रिटर्न डाउन वैल्यू हमें 210।
एग्जैक्टली। अगर मान लीजिए 210 नहीं दिया होता तो मुझे ये करना पड़ता?
यस।
ओके, वेरी गुड। क्यों करना पड़ता?
क्योंकि सर फिर हमको कैरिंग अमाउंट पहले फाइंड करनी पड़ेगी और उसके बाद हम लोग एड बैक कर सकते थे।
किसमें एड बैक करेंगे आप गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट को?
वो कैरिंग अमाउंट में।
कैरिंग अमाउंट एट व्हाट टाइम?
एट द एंड ऑफ थर्ड ईयर।
What happened at the end of third year?
Refund.
So it is basically carrying amount at the time of refund of government grant, right? If you look at
Yes.
this question, what's your carrying amount at the time of refund of government grant?
210 lakhs.
210 lakhs. Okay. When was your refund? 15/16. So I'm writing over here 2015. Okay, go ahead then.
Refund 60 lakhs.
60
Add
will
back.
be refunded. Okay. Should I add or deduct?
Add.
Why should I add?
Because we are refunding it. First we have reduced the cost. Now we will increase the cost.
So earlier when you received the government grant, you reduced it from the cost of the asset. Now at the time of refund, when exactly reverse is happening, you will also do the reverse. Earlier you deducted, now you will add back. Okay. After adding, what will you get?
Revised carrying amount.
You get the revised carrying amount. Okay. How much is your revised carrying amount?
270 lakhs.
270 lakhs. Good. Then
useful life 7 years.
Useful life is 7 years. Useful life is 10 years. I guess not 7 years. Look at the screen. Useful life is 10 years, not 7 years. How can you say 7 years?
Remaining useful life is 7 years. We have
Yes, remaining useful life, I agree with you, is 7 years. What's your depreciation, revised depreciation?
1 second. Minus 38.57.
You get 38.57. Okay. In this method, is this information useful? This information that I'm highlighting for you? Or should I ignore it?
No, it is useful.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure? Okay. Now, which question did you solve, Mukaddisha?
Second.
Question number 15?
That was deducted from the cost of the platform. Sorry sir, 210 lakh नहीं है, carrying amount 168 lakh है.
Right. और मैं आपको motivate कर रहा हूँ. हाँ हाँ, very good, and you are getting carried away. First of all, please understand which question are you reading, because this is what you did is dangerous. In the exam, the problem is not that you do not know. The problem is that you are not careful. 210 lakhs is when you use the income approach. I asked you again and again purposefully कि क्या मुझे ये minus करना चाहिए? You said no, 210 is given to me. Entire thing is gone. Silly mistake. Now what should I do?
168 lakhs.
168 then?
Plus 60 lakhs.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Check again. The last time also you said you're sure.
The balance of 168 lakhs on 1,415. Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, what about the next one?
Useful life 7 years.
Remaining useful life. Useful life is 10 years. Remaining useful life is 7 years.
Yes.
Revised depreciation.
0.57. हाँ.
Right, so you cannot say that पहले भी answer यही आ रहा था, अभी भी यही आ रहा है. So it is correct. 0 marks you will get if you do that. So I request you to be careful. Avoid silly mistakes. Right, from the first point I'm giving you hints. Okay, anyways, be careful. See, please understand, this is an independent case and this is an independent case. First ask yourself, हम कौन सी मेथड की बात कर रहे हैं? कैपिटल अप्रोच. ये रहा कैपिटल अप्रोच, डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम द कॉस्ट ऑफ द एसेट. उसके बाद आपको क्या करना है? वही एसेट की वैल्यू लेनी है जो कितना है. व्हाट इज द वैल्यू इन द क्वेश्चन? 168. am I right? You cannot take 210, right? Okay, fine. So be careful. Not only Mukaddisha, but everyone, please be careful. Don't avoid such silly mistakes. Fine. Okay, that is absolutely correct. 32.57. Thank you, Mukaddisha. Let's go to the next question. Okay, before I go to the next question, any doubts in this question? On your chat box, any doubt in this question? Are you all clear with this? Are you all clear with this? Okay, great. Perfect. If you're clear with this, let's go to the last question, which is one of the most important questions. Question number 13. Let's solve question number 13. Mark this, very important. Last day revision question. Question number 13, which is on page number 93. Come to question number 13. Question 13. Let's try and understand this question. It says D Limited acquired a machine on 1/4/2012 for how much? 20 lakhs. The useful life is 5 years. The company had applied on 1/4/2012 a subsidy to the tune of 80% of the cost. The sanction letter of subsidy was received in November 2015. Everyone on your chat box, आपने subsidy के लिए apply कब किया? When did you apply for the subsidy? On your chat box. When did you apply for the subsidy in the question? 1/4/2012. Okay, when did you actually get the subsidy? When was it sanctioned? 2015. Okay, can I say from 2012 to 2015 there was no subsidy? Yes or no? Can I say from 2012 to 2015 there was no subsidy? Okay. आगे देखो क्या हुआ. कंपनी ने क्या किया? The company's fixed asset account for the financial year shows a credit balance as under. देखो क्या किया इन लोगों ने. इन्होंने ऐसा सोचा कि 20 लाख रुपए की एसेट है. गवर्नमेंट ने हमको कहा है कि आपकी सब्सिडी तो सैंक्शन हो ही जाएगी, तो लेकिन जब तक हमको सब्सिडी सैंक्शन का लेटर नहीं आएगा, वी कैन नॉट डू इट. यू रिमेंबर the second paragraph of this standard, which says the second paragraph of the standard tells you that government grant should be recorded only when it is certain that you will receive it. When will it be certain that you will receive the government grant? When you actually receive the sanction letter from the government. However, we did not receive sanction letter till the year 2015-16, तो हमने गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट रिकॉर्ड की ही नहीं. 20 lakhs में से हमने 12 lakhs डेप्रीसिएशन प्रोवाइड कर दिया स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड में 3 साल का. 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15. उसके बाद क्या हुआ, हमारा बैलेंस कितना बचा? 8 लाख रुपीज, जिसमें हमने 16 लाख रुपीज जो गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट हमको मिली वो हमने रिड्यूस कर दिया. सो देन आई विल डिडक्ट 16 lakhs. 8 lakhs हमको गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट मिली, सॉरी 8 lakhs हमारी कॉस्ट ऑफ द एसेट थी. 8 lakhs में से मैंने 16 lakhs माइनस किया, तो मेरी एसेट की वैल्यू -8 lakhs है. आगे पढ़ रहा हूँ. How should the company deal with this asset for the books of in its accounts for the year 15-16? पहला question. How should the company deal with this asset for the year 15-16? Second, can it charge depreciation or negative depreciation? Second question. Can it credit 8 lakhs to capital reserve? Third question. एक ही question में 3 question पूछे. Right, again I am repeating the question for you. ध्यान देना. Before I repeat the question to you, let me take you to the second paragraph of this standard. देखो क्या दिया हुआ है. Government grant should be accounted by following the accrual principle. Such grant shall be recorded in the books once it is certain that government grant shall be received. On your chat box, everyone, were we certain in 2012 that the government grant will be received? Yes or no? Were we certain? हमको पता था कि government grant हमको मिली जाएगी in the year 2012. We were not certain. Because we were not certain, we correctly did not record the government grant. हमने 20 लाख की एसेट रिकॉर्ड की, उसमें से 12 लाख 3 साल का डेप्रिसिएशन माइनस किया, कितना बचा हमारे पास? 8 लाख रुपए. अब जब 8 लाख रुपए वैल्यू बची है तो उन्होंने हमको क्या कहा कि लो आपकी गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट सैंक्शन हो गई, और हमको 16 लाख रुपए की गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट दी. हमने पहले दिन से ही डिसाइड कर दिया था कि हमको तो कैपिटल अप्रोच यूज करना है, तो कैपिटल अप्रोच के हिसाब से हमने क्या किया, कॉस्ट में से 16 lakhs माइनस कर दी. Can you see this 8 lakhs minus 16 lakhs? This gives you the hint that we have followed the capital approach. अगर 8 लाख में से 16 लाख माइनस करोगे तो कितना बचेगा? -8 lakhs. This -8 lakhs is the value of the asset. Everyone on your chat box, with whatever you have studied about fixed assets, can you have negative balance of the fixed asset? Can you have negative balance of fixed assets? Yes or no? Can you have negative balance of the fixed assets? You cannot have negative balance of the fixed assets. Okay, ध्यान देना. Question क्या पूछा है? How should the company deal with this asset in the books of accounts 15-16? Second, can it charge depreciation or negative depreciation? And the third question, can it credit 8 lakhs to capital reserve? 3 question पूछे. अब ध्यान देना, मैं तीनों के आपको आंसर बताता हूँ. सबसे पहला question. My first question to you all is, if the grant was received in 2012, everyone on your chat box, your full attention on this question, very important question it is, and please answer my questions. If you answer my questions correctly on the chat box actively, you are absolutely clear with this question, right? in the year 2012 हमने कब, when did we purchase the asset? 2012. मान लो 2012 में ये असेट का ग्रांट हमको सैंक्शन हो जाता, कब सैंक्शन होता? 2012 में। तो हमने असेट में क्या ट्रीटमेंट दी होती? What is the treatment we would have given to the cost of the asset if this government grant was sanctioned on day one? On your chat box, 2012 में सैंक्शन होता तो हम असेट को कैसे ट्रीट करते अगर हम कैपिटल अप्रोच यूज करने वाले होते तो? Okay, reduction of cost. Okay, those who have written reduction of cost or deduct from the cost, can you help me out with the figures? कितना आपका कॉस्ट होता, कितना आप डिडक्ट करते और कितना नेट कॉस्ट आता? क्विकली ऑन योर चैट बॉक्स, कितना आप डिडक्ट करते, कितना आपका ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट होता और कितना आपका नेट कॉस्ट आता? Okay, you would have got 20 lakhs minus 4 lakhs. This would have been, I'm sorry, the government grant is how much? 16 lakhs. 80%, okay, it is 16 lakhs, sorry. So 20 lakhs minus 16 lakhs would have been how much for you? 4 lakhs. Okay, everyone on your chat box, please pay attention. If this would have been 4 lakhs, what would have been, on which value would you have calculated depreciation? If this was your equation, आप कौन सी value पे depreciation calculate करते? Everyone agrees you would have calculated on 4 lakhs. Okay. Again, question number 3 to you. मैंने आपसे पहला क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा? आपको पहले दिन पे ग्रांट मिलती तो आप कैसे रिकॉर्ड करते? आपने कहा 20 minus 16, 4 lakhs. सेकेंड मैंने आपसे पूछा आप कितने पे डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट करते, वो भी आपने बताया 4 lakhs पे. थर्ड क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि आपको पहले दिन पे ग्रांट सैंक्शन नहीं हुई, आपने कौन सी वैल्यू पे डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट किया? ऑन विच वैल्यू डिड यू कैलकुलेट डेप्रिसिएशन? On which value did you calculate depreciation? 20 lakhs. Okay. Everyone agrees 20 lakhs? Excellent. Question number 4. Did you calculate on higher value or lower value? Did you calculate depreciation on higher value or lower value? Higher value. Okay. Did you debit P&L more or did you debit P&L less? Did you debit P&L more? Okay, excellent. Now understand. What you will do in this case is, how much is the government grant that you have received? Pay attention. 16 lakhs is what you have received. How much is your balance in the asset account? On your chat box? Balance in the asset account is how much at the time you receive the government grant? 8 lakhs. Okay, ध्यान देना. Rupees 16 lakhs government grant received will first be adjusted from the asset account. Why? Because we use the capital approach, in which we reduce the grant from the cost of the asset. Are you understanding? फिर से समझा रहा हूँ, ध्यान देना. 16 लाख रुपीस की जो गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट है, वो मुझे सबसे पहले कहाँ से एडजस्ट करनी है? असेट अकाउंट से. असेट अकाउंट से कितना एडजस्ट मैं कर पाऊंगा? 8 lakh rupees. So 8 lakhs first I will adjust from the government, from the fixed asset account. After adjusting, why will I do that? Because we are using the capital approach. Who told you we are using the capital approach? This deduction told me that we are using the capital approach. क्योंकि उन्होंने कॉस्ट में से 16 लाख यहाँ पे माइनस किए, मुझे आइडिया आ गया कि कौन सा अप्रोच यूज कर रहे हैं? कैपिटल अप्रोच. ओके, यहाँ पे देखो, आउट ऑफ 16 lakhs that we are going to receive, 8 lakhs I will adjust from the asset account, which is nothing but the capital approach. Everyone on your chat box, after I deduct 8 lakhs from the fixed asset account, what is the balance I am left with? What is the balance am I left? I am left out with 0. Okay. What is the value of your asset? 0. Okay, everyone agrees 0. Excellent. Question number 5. देखो सारे क्वेश्चन के आंसर आप ही दे रहे हो, सिर्फ लॉजिक मैं बता रहा हूँ. If your cost of the asset is 0, what will be your depreciation? What will be your depreciation? 0. Everyone agrees. अगर आपका asset का cost 0 है तो of course इस पे depreciation भी आपका 0 ही आने वाला है. Which means 16 लाख में से मैंने सबसे पहले क्या किया? Cost of the asset 8 lakhs minus कर दिया. Right, 8 lakhs minus करने के बाद 16 में से 8 lakhs गए तो बचे कितने? 8 lakhs. This 8 lakhs, what will I do? I will credit this to the profit and loss account. ध्यान देना, why will I credit this to the profit and loss account? फिर से समझा रहा हूँ. Out of 16 lakhs, this will be charged from the asset account and this will be credited to the profit and loss account. Why am I crediting it to the profit and loss account? Please understand what I am writing. Because earlier I had, आपने ही बताया, higher value of the asset and I depreciated at higher value, which means I debited my P&L, आपने ही बताया, more. Because I debited it more, now I will credit it back as I have been reimbursed by government. Are you getting it? So if I look at the question, the first, how should the company deal with this asset? The company should write off 8 lakhs, so the value of the asset will become nil. Can you charge depreciation on nil value? You said no. Can you have negative depreciation? See, when you cannot have negative value of the asset, how can you have negative depreciation? So that's also not possible. Third point, very important. It says, can you credit to capital reserve? Now quickly, everyone on your chat box. When can you credit to capital reserve? In what circumstances can you credit to capital reserve? In what circumstances can you credit government grant to capital reserve? In what circumstances can you credit government grant to capital reserve? I think 2 circumstances. One, if it is promoter's contribution, and second, income approach for non-depreciable asset. Right? In दोनों के अलावा, there is no method where you can use or where you can credit to the capital reserve. So in this question, do you have promoter's contribution on income approach? No. Can you credit to income approach? The answer is no. Are you understanding? Are you all clear with this? Are you all clear with this? Quickly on your chat box. Easy ekdam. Okay, let's look at the solution that they have given here. Okay, it says from the above account, it is inferred. Inferred means understood. What is the meaning of the word inferred? Inferred means understood. From the above account, it is understood that the company follows reduction method of accounting of government grants. Accordingly, out of rupees 16 lakhs that has been received, rupees 8 lakhs being balanced in the machinery account should be credited to the machinery account. The balance of rupees 8 lakhs may be credited to profit and loss account. Dhyan dena. Since already the cost of the asset to the tune of 8 lakhs has been debited to the profit and loss account in the earlier years by way of depreciation charge. Very important statement. Rupees 8 lakhs transferred to P&L will now be partial recovery of the cost, which is nothing but your reimbursement. So your partial recovery of cost will be 8 lakh rupees. There is no need to provide depreciation for the year 15, 16 and 16, 17 as the depreciable amount of the asset has now become nil. In respect of depreciable assets, AS 12 does not permit crediting to the grant or any part thereof to the capital reserve account. So you will not have any change over here. It will not permit you to credit to the capital reserve because that is allowed only in two situations. Situation number one will be what? Situation number one will be promoter's contribution. Situation number two will be income approach for a non-depreciable asset. In these two situations, only and only you can credit to the capital reserve. Otherwise, you can never credit to the capital reserve account. Are you getting it? Okay, let's quickly take your doubts. I have one doubt which says, can't we give retrospective effect to government grant received as charge and charge depreciation accordingly? Okay, my question to you is receiving government grant an accounting policy? Mayur, my question to you is receiving a government grant an accounting policy? No, it would not have been doing, it is not known as an accounting policy. Since it's not an accounting policy, how can you treat it as with retrospective effect? You cannot do that. So retrospective effect does not come into picture anywhere. It will come into picture only when there is a change in accounting policy. Right? I hope, Mayur, that is now clear to you. Okay. One more doubt I have. What will be the case if the company was using the income approach? Okay. Now please understand, if the company was using income approach, you would have had no problems. What you would have done is you would have continued to charge depreciation on 8 lakhs. As such, the entire amount of 16 lakhs would have gone to the unearned government grant account. Right now, can someone tell me what is the useful life of the asset in this question? Okay, in fact, let me prepare for you the profit and loss account and the unearned government grant account. That will be good, I believe. Okay, unearned government grant account, please pay attention. And you have the profit and loss account. Okay, I think this doubt was asked to me by Spruha, if I'm not wrong. Let me check. Yes, Spruha, this is your doubt. Okay. So tell me, how much depreciation have you already charged? Spruha, look at the question. And please understand, we are trying to solve the same question by using the income approach. आपने कितना depreciation provide किया? 12 lakhs. I'm writing over here. To depreciation 12 lakhs. Okay. अब आपको कितना government grant मिला है स्प्रुहा? How much government grant have you received? 16 lakhs by bank account. Okay. Now 16 lakhs we will transfer to the from unearned government grant account to the profit and loss account in the ratio of useful life. What is your useful life in the question? Useful life in the question? 5 years. कितने साल बीत चुके हैं? How many years have gone by? In 2015. So 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15. 3 years have gone by. So minus 3 years. What's your remaining useful life? What's your remaining useful life? 2 years. Okay. So you will transfer this unearned government grant account to the profit and loss account in the ratio of your useful life, remaining useful life. So you will transfer this to profit and loss account. $8 lakhs. profit and loss account, on the credit side, you will have 8 lakhs. By unearned government grant account. Right. So in the last year, you will have, for the first year, you will have 8 lakhs. For the last year also, you will pass this journal entry. Are you getting it? I hope, Spruha, that solves your doubt. So you will straight away take that to the unearned government grant account, the entire 16 lakhs that you have. You will take it to the unearned government grant account. You have already charged depreciation of 12 lakhs. Now, how did you charge depreciation of 12 lakhs? You charged 4 lakhs per annum for 3 years. So your next year's depreciation will also be there, 4 lakhs. And the third year depreciation will also be there, 4 lakhs. You will transfer twice to the unearned government grant account. Please check, are all your accounts getting tallied? Are both your accounts getting tallied? But in case, as per both, the approaches will not match in the fourth year. Again, Spru, I am telling you, solve the entire question and at the end you match. That is how we began today's lecture. So solve the entire question. Put your P&L as per the capital approach as well. Tell me, how much did you debit to the P&L as per capital approach earlier? 12 lakhs. Yes or no? To depreciation. By profit and loss account, कितना है यहाँ पे 8 lakhs? You credited how much? 8 lakhs to the profit and loss account? Okay, come on, Spruha, over here. Quickly calculate for me. How much depreciation as per this P&L? How much depreciation are you charging as per this P&L? कितना depreciation आप इस P&L के हिसाब से charge कर रहे हो? At the end, total depreciation. At the end. Net amount I am asking you. 12 तो आपने डेबिट किया पर सामने कुछ क्रेडिट भी तो किया, 4 lakhs. आई एम राइटिंग ओवर हियर 4 lakhs. इसमें आपने नेट कितना चार्ज किया दोनों मेथड से? How much net did you charge? 4 lakhs. Is it matching now for both the years? I'll also tally for you. This is from 1 to 3 years. This is the 4th year. This is the 5th year. This is from 1 to 3 years, and after that you had no depreciation. Why? Because value became 0. Now tell me, does it match? Are you clear with this? In fact, is everyone clear with this? Simran, you too had this doubt yesterday, so I hope you are now clear with this. Akshay, you too had this doubt yesterday. I hope now you're absolutely clear with this. Everyone on your chat box, are you clear with this? Are you all clear with this? Okay, I have one doubt which says, please repeat the partial refund concept again. Okay, I'll do that. And repeat the capital APP. I guess that is approach. Okay, capital approach. Fine, look at the capital approach. In the capital approach, you have already charged 12 lakhs to your profit and loss account, and 8 lakhs we decided to credit. Here, 8 lakhs we decided to credit to PNL. So 12 lakhs debited to PNL and 8 lakhs credited to PNL. What's your net effect to the PNL? 4 lakh rupees. Right, this is your capital approach. Now, Khushi, I will have to go back to that question where I explained the concept to you. Just give me a minute, I'll do that. Okay. If you want to understand the partial refund concept, we will have to go back to question number 10. So Khushi, I request you to come back to question number 10. Question number 10. Khushi, are you on question number 10? Are you on question number 10? Yes. Okay, excellent. In question number 10, tell me, what is your amount of government grant? What is your amount of government grant? Okay, everyone pay attention. I'm explaining that concept of partial refund to you. 8 lakh rupees is the government grant. When are you refunding the government grant in this case? When are you refunding the government grant in this case? Okay, after the first year. Very good. After first year, okay, which approach are we trying to understand this? We are trying to understand this with the income approach. Right? If we understand with the income approach, I can look at the question and say, Acha, what is the useful life? Tell me that also. What's your useful life in the question? Four years. Okay, very good. Let's calculate. 4 years. In income approach, where do you transfer the grant amount? Where do you transfer the amount of the grant in income approach? In the income approach, where do you transfer unearned government grant? So see, I've transferred over here unearned government grant account. You will take transfers from unearned government grant account to the profit and loss account in the ratio of useful life. So tell me, Khushi, every year how much will you transfer to the profit and loss account? Every year, how much will you transfer to the profit and loss account? 2 lakhs. So I'm writing over here 2 lakhs. Now understand. After first year, the government grant had to be refunded. So Khushi, after first year, what's your balance in the unearned government grant account? After first year, what's your balance in the unearned government grant account? 6 lakhs. और refund कितना किया है आपने? Refund कितना किया है आपने? Okay, so you will think in this way कि जब 8 लाख रुपीस की ग्रांट है, तब हमारे पास कितना पड़ा है? 6 लाख रुपीस अनअर्न्ड गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट अकाउंट में. इस 8 लाख रुपीस के सामने 6 लाख रुपीस पड़े हैं. जब 5 लाख रुपीस रिफंड होंगे तो हमको कितना अनअर्न्ड गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट यूटिलाइज करना चाहिए? लेट्स कैलकुलेट दैट. You will have 5 lakhs. You will have 5 lakhs multiply by 6 lakhs divided by 8 lakhs. You get 3,75,000. So 3,75,000 is the amount that you will use from the unearned government grant account at the time of refund. If you use 3,75,000 from 6 lakhs, you are left out with 2,25,000. Right? This is your concept of partial refund. Are you absolutely clear with this? In fact, is everyone absolutely clear with this? Yes or no? Quickly on your chat box. Are you all clear with this? Okay, great. Fine. If you're done with this, Okay, I have one doubt which says in question number 14, should not the rate of depreciation be changed because by following the same rate our residual value at the end will not match with the residual value if we follow the income approach. See, you cannot ever adjust the depreciation percentage. So in case of depreciation percentage, never do that. If your answer does, if your residual value does not match, the difference will not be too big. But the rule of AS12 says you cannot change depreciation. Depreciation is not governed. Okay, tell me, Raj, does AS12 govern depreciation? Does AS12 govern depreciation? Depreciation का concept जो है वो AS12 cover कर रहा है नहीं. If AS12 does not govern depreciation, how can you change depreciation? You cannot change depreciation at any cost. So the percentage of depreciation will still remain 20%. It will not change. Right? I hope that makes things clear for you. Right. So if you're done with this, still, even if the difference is big, so be it. You will not change the amount of depreciation. The percentage of depreciation will remain the same, even if you do it by the income approach. So basically, this difference is only because of rounding off, because what happens is when you divide by the useful life, your amount will keep changing because of the rounding off, plus the number of years are also 4 or 5 if I'm not mistaken. So let it be, but do not even by mistake change the percentage of depreciation. It will still remain 20% in that case. Right? I hope that makes things clear to you. What is the solution to? What is the solution to? If you can please explain to me this, what is the solution to? To what? No, it won't be biased. See, let's solve the question. Let's solve this question. We will have to take unearned government grant account and profit and loss account. Let's solve it. You will automatically come to know. Okay, tell me, what's your value of the government grant? Quickly help me with the values. What's your value of the government grant in the question? Raj, quickly help me with the values. 300 lakhs. Okay. So 300 lakhs by bank account. Okay. Calculate your depreciation for the first year at full cost. Calculate at 1500. $1,500 into 20%. How much do you get? 300. Okay. How much will you transfer from unearned government grant account to the profit and loss account? 300 divided by your useful life. Will you get 60? Okay. Let's take over here. By unearned government grant account, 60. Chalo, second year. Depreciation remains the same. Transfer remains the same. Okay. What will be your depreciation for the second year? 1500. What's your depreciation for the second year? 240. Okay. Now in this case, the transfer to unearned government grant account will not be so. Okay, I'll solve this for you. Tell me the depreciation for the next year, third year. depreciation for the third year. $192. Okay. Now let's understand. That's it, right, Raj? ये तीन depreciation ही और कुछ नहीं है ना? Because I can see 2011. So 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14 और May 14 में तो आपका refund हो गया. So 3 साल का depreciation provide हो गया. What's the ratio of depreciation? 300 is to 240 is to 192. Yes or no? 300 is to 240 is to 192. Okay, हमारा कितना unearned government grant account है? 300. Our unearned government grant account is 300. Okay, let's divide it. Okay, जब 300 है गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट तब टोटल कितना है? 732. 300 है तो कितना? क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई, डिवाइड द एंटायर 300 इन द रेशियो ऑफ 300 by is to 240 is to 192. Divide and tell me the three values. Divided in the ratio of 300 is to 240 is to 192. Tell me the values for the 3 years. $122.95. Okay, 98.36. For the third year, check how much do you get. You get 78.69. Okay, take these three values over here. Profit and loss account. Okay, then now what's your doubt? Did you use these methods? Did you divide it in the ratio of depreciation? Yes or no? No, but you cannot do that because your depreciation amount is different. Okay, let's do one more thing, one more easier thing for you. Calculate for these two as well. Calculate for these 2 years as well. Calculate your depreciation for year number 4 and year number 5 as well. 153.6. Okay, first please understand what you do is take in the ratio of depreciation. See, understand, they have told you ratio of depreciation or useful life. Now on your chat box, everyone including Raj, if I follow the SLM method, will my answer remain the same every year of depreciation or will it change? If I use straight line method of depreciation, it will remain the same. Because it remains the same, I can afford to directly take the useful life. Are you getting it? मैं सीधा यूजफुल लाइफ कब ले सकता हूँ? जब मेरा डेप्रिसिएशन हर साल सेम आने वाला है, जो आज तक हर क्वेश्चन में हुआ था, हमने सेम लिया था. लेकिन अगर डेप्रिसिएशन हर साल सेम नहीं आता तो आप ट्रांसफर, यू कैन नॉट देन टेक यूनिफॉर्मली 20%, या तो फिर आपको 20% ऑन रिड्यूस्ड वैल्यू लेना पड़ेगा हर बार. मतलब पहली बार आप क्या करोगे? 300. फर्स्ट टाइम व्हाट यू विल डू इज you will do 300 into 20%, कितना आया 60, माइनस करोगे तो कितना बचा 240. अब 240 का आपको 20% लेना पड़ेगा, then you will get 48. You will deduct that. Are you getting it? So you try with this method. Try again using the method I have suggested. And if you have any doubts, please come back to me. Right, I hope that is clear. I've given you the hint of how to solve it. Try again using the method I have suggested today. And if you're clear with this, good. If you're not clear, send it a picture to me and I will help you solve this. Raj, I hope that is clear to you. Okay, if that is clear, let's quickly go to what is the residual value given in the question? What is the residual value by both? And can you also tell me which residual value are you talking about? Can you explain to me on your chat box which residual value are you trying to match? We always try to match the depreciation charge to the P&L, the net amount to the P&L. Why are you matching the residual value? Residual value as such will become nil if you follow the SLM method and will be there if you follow the WDV method. So why do you want to match the residual value? We have to always match the net effect to the profit and loss account. How will the residual value match? If both the methods you're following WDV method, still how will the residual value match? Because capital approach mein, what happens in the capital approach? Understand what I'm saying first. What happens in the capital approach? In the capital approach, you deduct from the cost, then you find out depreciation, then you add back to the cost. जब आप cost में ही changes कर रहे हो तो residual value X आएगा. In the income approach, you do not do any changes in the asset account. The asset account is recorded at full cost. तो उसका residual value after depreciation अलग आएगा. You must check the net effect to the P&L account. You must check the net effect to the P&L. So I request you that please check the net effect to the P&L and try again. And if it does not solve, don't worry, I am here. Just simply click the picture and send it to me on my personal message and I will take care of it. Right, so I request you to check it again and please check the net effect to the P&L. I am again repeating, please check the net effect to the P&L, which we did in 3 questions. एक तो आपने ही help. One I asked you and you solved it. Same thing you do for this question. Don't check the residual value, please. Conceptually, residual value should not match between the two. Are you getting it? Okay. Now quickly come to page number 67. Let's revise. Let's revise the entire standard, accounting standard 12. Come to page number 67. Okay, let's quickly revise the entire accounting standard 12. Please pay full attention. If you have any doubt, please ask me and focus on every concept that I'm saying. Accounting standard 12, we began with what is the meaning of government grant. They said the meaning of government grant is assistance by government, whether in cash or kind, for any enterprise for past or future compliance. फिर second point हमने ये पढ़ा कि when is the government grant to be recorded? It is to be accounted for by using the accrual principle. Such grant shall be recorded in the books once it is certain that the government grant will be received. What is the meaning of government? Central government or state government. It also includes government bodies and agencies, whether local, national, or international. Everything is covered as a part of your definition of government. Then we began with government grant for fixed assets, which is capital approach. Government grant should be reduced from the cost of the asset in the capital approach. You will get your net cost. This is the cost at which you will record the asset in the books, and you will also calculate depreciation on this value. That is the net cost. In case of income approach, for a non-depreciable asset, you will credit it to the capital reserve. In the income approach, for a depreciable asset, you will record the asset at full cost. You will transfer government grant to a special account known as the unearned government grant account. You will take transfers from unearned government grant account to the profit and loss account in the ratio of depreciation. But before that, you will charge depreciation at the full cost to the profit and loss account, right? After this, we did government grant in the nature of promoter's contribution. It will be credited to capital reserve. It can neither be distributed as dividend nor it can be treated as deferred income. We saw 2 or 3 questions based on that. Then government grant for revenue expenditure, you have 2 methods for that. Either you can deduct from the relating expense or you can credit to the profit and loss account. So you debit the expense, credit the P&L, or deduct from the related expense itself. Then you have government grant that is received in kind. So it should, government grant received in kind means it is received free of cost. You will record it at the you'll record it at the nominal value. After that, we did refund of government grant. So refund of government grant, we will do exactly reverse of what we have done earlier. So if we speak about government grant for fixed assets, then in case of capital approach, earlier we deducted, now we will add back to the cost of the asset. Mukadesha, I request you always read the question carefully, because in spite of knowing everything, you can end up making silly mistakes. So please be very careful about whatever you see, whatever you understand, and what you write. Please be very careful. These are silly mistakes. So in spite of knowing everything, in spite of you being completely aware of the provisions, silly mistakes will really snatch away your marks. So please be careful with that. Okay, so in the capital approach, you will add back to the cost of the asset, and after adding to the cost of the asset, what you will do is you will get the revised carrying amount. That revised carrying amount you will depreciate over the remaining useful life of the asset. If you talk about the income approach, whatever you have to refund is first adjusted from the unearned government grant account, and the balance, if it falls short, will be debited to the profit and loss account. If we talk about non-depreciable asset, you will debit the capital reserve. For government grant for revenue expenditure, again you will take it first from the unearned government grant account. However, in this case, unearned government grant account will always be nil. It will always be nil. So you will take the entire amount to the profit and loss account. So for refund of revenue expenditure, government grant will always be debited to the profit and loss account. And the last important point that we saw is, as per accounting standard 5, a refund in the government grant is always treated as an extraordinary item, and because it is always treated as an extraordinary item, it will always be separately disclosed in the books of accounts. So refund of government grant is always treated as an extraordinary item. Are you getting it? Right? Is this absolutely clear to you? Are you all clear with this? Okay, there is one doubt which says government grant balance remaining 8 lakhs will transfer to the profit and loss account. So Akshay, that will be transferred to the profit and loss account. And question number 13, the first case says that 8 lakh rupees is left out in your value of the asset. Since 8 lakhs is left out in the value of the asset, out of 16 lakhs, first adjust 8 lakhs from the asset account, remaining 8 lakhs will be credited to the profit and loss account. Right, I hope that is clear to you, because you have charged. Why will you credit to P&L? Because you have charged more to the P&L earlier. because you have charged more to the P&L earlier. That is the reason why you will do it. Okay, I hope that is clear to you. I have one more doubt, which says in question number 12, it is written the deferred income before secured loans. So it is actually recorded as your reserves and surplus after your reserves and surplus and before your secured loan. So it is basically unearned government grant is part of your reserves and surplus. So technically speaking, it is a part of your other reserves and surplus. So that is where it will be recorded. They have shown you the location where this will be recorded in the books of accounts. Right, I hope Spruva that is clear to you. Okay, if you all are clear with this, I think this much is sufficient for today. We are now done up with AS12 as well. Now tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, I suggest we begin with accounting standard 2. Let's do accounting standard 2. I think we have done half of the accounting standard, but what I will do is, please understand this, I will revise. In fact, I will repeat the entire AS. That means I will repeat the provisions, not the sums that we have done. I will repeat all the provisions. After I repeat all the provisions, please understand, after I repeat all the provisions, we will do the remaining. We will first take your doubts. If I feel कि आपको बहुत doubts है, आप भूल गए हो, तो कुछ questions हम वापस कर लेंगे. Otherwise, we will do the remaining questions. We will do the remaining questions of AS12. Oh, sorry, AS2, valuation of inventory. Right? Okay, before I go, I have one small question to you. How many of you have not attended AS9? ये AS9 मैंने आपको आपके फाउंडेशन के रिजल्ट के पहले पढ़ाया था. So quickly, if you can tell me on the chat box, how many of you have not attended AS9? Not attended AS9. How many? Okay, can we do one thing? Can you message me on personal message? Can you do that? How many of you have not attended AS9? Then I will take that standard accordingly. If there are a few, I'll take at the end. If there are a lot many that have not attended, I will then take it. After AS2. Right? So tomorrow be ready with AS2. I request you to revise the entire accounting standard AS12. पूरी तरह से उसको revise कर लेना, अच्छे से समझ लेना. कोई भी doubt हो, get back to me. Revise the entire AS12 and also revise AS2, which I will begin from tomorrow. Right? Thank you so much for attending, and I'll now see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock for accounting standard. Thank you.